She'll ask you lots of questions to find out who you are, to make you feel like a star. She doesn't care if you animate on the ones or the twos. She just wants to get to know the real you. Oh, yes to that. The animator's friend, she's with you to the end. She'll be your new best friend. After cocktails and coffee, the conversation is so carefree. She doesn't care if you animate on the ones or the twos. Just sit back, relax, and time will fly by. Here we go.
Hello, I'm the animator's friend, India Lombardi-Bello. Thanks for tuning into my show. I'm a little nervous. These intros are hard. They're weird. It's weird to talk to yourself like this, to monologue. And now I have the added embarrassment of being on video as well. Because the podcast interview is on video, which I have said before, I'm not making a habit at this point in time of having my podcast be on video all the time. It's just that I've had some recently that I had to do virtually, and this was one of them. So today, which is kind of a surprise bonus episode, I have an interview with creators of the film Arco, Ugo Bienvenu and Félix de Givry. I was really excited to help them spread the word about this film. Oscar voting opens today. I'm pretty sure I'm releasing this the same day that I'm recording this. So like today being Monday, January 12th. So if you are somebody who votes, I hope you will consider Arco. I saw it at Annecy this year. Which I mentioned in my chat with them. And it was just such a beautiful film. And you can actually hear, like I told them, I was like, there was a buzz at the festival about Arco, and you can actually hear that buzz in real time, in a sense, by listening to my episode that I did at Annecy, where we were asking people what film they're excited to see or that they have seen. And I think Arco was mentioned many times. And it was, after all these conversations that I was like, okay, I got to go see Arco. And it was, I'm really glad that I did. So if you're not already familiar, Arco is a magical and beautifully animated journey through time. It is a dazzling adventure about a 10-year-old boy from a peaceful, distant future who accidentally travels back to the year 2075 and discovers a world in peril. As Arco develops a charming and touching friendship with a young girl named Iris, they band together, and along with her trusted robot caretaker, Mikki, they set out on a quest to get Arco home, while the two children may also be the only ones who can save our planet. A wondrous odyssey filled with hope and optimism for our future. Arco is an enchanting fable with breakout filmmaker Ugo Bienvenu, produced by Remembers, who is run by Bienvenu and Félix de Givry, who, I'm both talking to them, and also produced by mountainA's Natalie Portman and Sophie. You can see it screened now in theaters in the U.S., if you are based in the U.S. This interview is made possible by Metrograph and Arco's distributor, Neon. And they are doing a program called Voyage Chromatique, where they're helping to also spread the word about Arco. I think it was screening there recently, but there are a few more related programming still going on. They're showing films that were very influential to Ugo, the director. So you can still see Princess Mononoke and Once Upon a Time in America. Princess Mononoke screening Friday, January 16th and Monday, January 19th. I've never seen that in the theater, I don't think. So maybe I should go. Once Upon a Time in America, January 18th and 19th. So you can find that information on Metrograph's website. While I say that I won't be making a habit of doing video, I will say that with this episode, but I'm sure with the other ones that I have on video, I say this as somebody who I'm a diehard audio podcast listener. Like I really don't watch podcasts. So it's hard for me to even relate to why somebody would want to watch a podcast. But in doing this interview on video and editing it together, I was like, there are like a lot of funny moments or just kind of a more rich understanding of how we're communicating by watching the video. So, if you're interested to like kind of get more out of this listening experience, I do lightly recommend watching the video. You should be able to watch it on YouTube and Spotify, but I encourage YouTube, if you please. One thing that comes to mind is that Felix basically does like a whole Perrier commercial in the interview while Hugo's talking. So there's just a lot of just funny, charming moments that happen when you do video. I have to admit it. If it is your first time listening to this podcast, I do explain a bit of the format in the prior to the interview, but I will mention that this is a shorter interview than what y'all might be used to getting from me, but still just as rich and fun. And I'm not just saying this. I am really like happy with the chat that we had. They were really nice to talk to and just like really thoughtful, deep people. And we're, good sports going along with, I think, a very different interview than what they have been getting lately to promote the film. Just a reminder about my sponsor, my little sponsor, Camp Snap Cameras. If you like, actually, since we're doing video, let me go grab my camera. Oh my gosh, where is it? It's hard to describe on audio, but it doesn't have a screen. It like really does act, in my opinion, like a disposable camera, but it is digital. So the footage, you can just plug this into your computer and you'll get all the photos, but the photos look like film. But you can turn the flash on, you can have it on auto. And then there's other cameras. They have a pro camera as well that has even more little options to play around with. And it comes in all different colors. It's really cute. And you can get your hands on one for $5 off at the link in my show notes. I think that's it. So thank you for listening to that. And let's go to my chat with Ugo and Felix, my new friends. I'm really excited to talk to you guys. I just saw that you guys got an Annie nomination like a few minutes ago. So congrats on that. And you guys are in LA right now for the Golden Globes, I assume.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I saw the film at Annecy this last year, and it was just so wonderful. It was funny because I kind of was focusing mostly on watching like shorts at Annecy and wasn't thinking so much about the features, but it was such like the buzz of the festival was Arco. Everybody's like, have you seen Arco yet? Have you seen it? And I was like, oh, so like at like one of the last days I had to go like way outside of town to go and like watch it at this like random theater. But it was like so amazing, so beautiful.
Thank you.
A really like refreshing take on, portraying like climate crisis, I thought. So I'm really, all of the accolades you're receiving now is like very well deserved.
Thanks so much.
And I don't know if you're, familiar with my podcast, but I know a lot of people are going to be asking you about the film and like making the film, but I'm more, the podcast is more focused on just like getting to know you guys as people. But I do want to ask before we get into like those kind of fun questions, just about like your collaboration, because you two have been working together for a long time. Like how did that collaboration start? How does it persist? What do you admire in each other creatively?
In fact, it began in 2014, I think.
Then?
Yeah.
We shot in 2013.
Yeah. It began in 2013. We were shooting like Mia's Unseen Love movie. Felix was the main actor of the movie, and I was kind of a second role, and also drawing for all the drawings in the movie. And every time Mia said like cut, we were talking to each other, and Felix had a music label, and I had an animation company also at that time, and we began like talking about project and also making like music videos together, and I mean we kind of fell in love working together, and then I think Felix and I were kind of fed up of the places we were in at that time, and also like it wasn't working so well that we said, why not just go together and build a company, which became Remembers, and we did the first short together, which was called L'Entretien for the French Opera de Paris, and began producing other people's work, doing commercials, doing music videos, doing series for French channels, and yeah, it was. I mean, it's crazy because we have kind of a really deep connection, and based on things we can't define. In fact, I think like the same tropism for the same things, and it's quite easy and fun.
Good.
I don't know what I can say. What
nice.
What more can you say?
It's true that it's really something. It's funny that it started with during the shooting. I remember also we were talking a lot, and I think it's the most strange thing is that our brain sometimes seems to be very formed the same way. It's very strange.
And also we work a lot, and it's hard to find people that work as fast also as we do, and when we found each other, I think that's what it seemed crazy. Like we were going at the same speed and also at the same moment of our life. So yeah, it felt natural. Yeah.
Creative soulmates.
And also we needed a place for us to defend a way of making things, handcraft, like even like with actual cinema, with actors, and like we are both not only producers but also technicians in a way, and also so I think this what makes Remember a little bit different than other companies, is that we are from the craft, and I think it makes a difference.
Totally. I guess we can get, I have 12 questions for you. Normally I do 24 questions, but I want to be respectful of your time. So the 24 questions is normally for the 24 frames of animation. So we're doing it on twos today with having 12 questions for you guys. Okay, so for question 1, what is your favorite sandwich?
Whoa!
Oh wow!
This one I wasn't prepared for that.
No.
Favorite sandwich? I don't know. Le croissant. The croissant with the ham in it and cheese. I think.
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah. Me, I'm a big fan of saucisson in general. So everything that revolves around saucisson. It's like French. I don't know if you even have it.
Dry
it's
sausage.
Like salami a bit.
Yeah. I'm familiar. But the French sandwiches, it's like their own special thing. Like, but I love the simplicity of a French sandwich.
Yeah, the French saucisson, like butter, saucisson, and cornichon.
I think we basically are French. So answering that. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Number 2, have you listened to music today?
Not yet.
Not
Yes,
yet.
I have.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah, I have because oh, mais je peux pas trop le dire. C'est
Because what?
Iliona. I listened to a French Belgium artist, Belgium, she's not French, called Iliona.
And
It's
we were listening to her song Rest a lot, writing the Arco, and we definitely want to work with that person
yeah.
once
And
in
so I
our
was
life.
listening to her album because we might want to do something.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
I listened to it, but I woke up at 3 a.m. so I had really a lot of time to listen to stuff because of jet lag. I you know, the day is like 6 hours in, so
Yeah.
I listened to like 5 albums already.
When did you guys get to LA?
2 or 3 days ago.
Yesterday. No, the day before.
The day before, yeah.
Okay.
2 days.
So I guess because you guys were at did you guys attend? I forget, what was the award show that was last night?
Critics' Choice, yeah.
Okay, so that's why you were like, maybe your sleep schedule was off.
And we also have a lot of Q&As and stuff. So
yeah, totally.
And I listened also to Arnaud Toulon.
yeah,
Arnaud, who made the music of Arco.
Okay, cool.
He's doing the music of Felix's first feature too. So
Okay.
I'm listening to. We're recording next weekend, so I'm listening to the last edits. I'm making him crazy. I think, with the last feedbacks. It's he's a very talented person, Arnaud. And he's very dear to us. He's a bit the third member of the wheel.
Oh, I love that. The music that you said that you were listening to, like, while you were making Arco, did it influence the music that ended up like being created for the film, do you feel like, or was it just like nice to listen to while you were
moody working? I think it was more about mood and about but we had kind of a clear view of what we wanted at the end. We wanted November Ultra since like really early in the making, and we wanted Arnaud is the second person I talked to about Arco, the first one being Felix, and Arnaud has been working on the movie since like the very first week of the project and sending us like temps and pieces of music all the time. So really important person in our system.
And I think the idea at first, since the beginning, was to have a music, orchestral music with themes, with melodies, I think that was from the very beginning. And then the idea of an original song, it's also a bit of sort of tradition of animation, or Miyazaki's film, or where you have a song of the film and you listen to the song and you remember the film. That's something we like.
Yeah, and also like as it was a science fiction project, the easiest way and now the normal unconscious way is going like electronic, and we really did, as we were inventing everything in the movie, we really wanted to rely on like things we knew, and classical compositions were really important on that point because we needed to rely on emotions, and classical music is the best for that.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Moving on to question 3. What is your latest fixation?
What does fixation mean exactly?
Like obsession.
Obsession.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Whoa. Sandwich question. I to me wasn't prepared for that either. But you, Felix?
Fixation. I'm trying to give a good answer.
Me, I can answer. It's like my kids and drawing my kids.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I can have the same answer. I had a son 3 months ago.
Oh, congratulations.
But I cannot really say it's a fixation. It's just a complete change of how you see the world.
Yes.
But maybe relating to that fixation would be going on the app to see how much he slept.
Yeah.
That would be a fixation. Or watching a lot of video with an algorithm on Instagram about kids,
parenting
and about when do you feed, when this and that, what does it mean? But it's not really a fixation. No, I would say my last fixation is songs in like musical comedies. So I've been watching a lot of musical comedies. Musical, you just call them musicals now. Yeah.
Oh, musical. Okay. Like, do you have some favorites?
All the famous ones, but I rewatched 2 times during Christmas, Singing in the Rain.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And me, it's Devdas, my favorite.
Which one? Sorry.
Devdas, the Indian one.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a Shakespearean Indian movie with a lot of songs. Crazy.
Cool. Okay. Number 4. What were you like in high school? I don't know what the French equivalent of the name high school is, but I think you know it. I'm referring to.
This you relate to?
C'est le lycée ou c'est le collège? C'est collège.
High school. How old are you in high school for you? Here.
Oh, what age? It's like 14 to 18.
Yeah, so it's like end of college and beginning. Losers. We were both losers.
Me, it was in before high school.
14, you were.
14, I was still, but then I went to an art school really early when I was 15, and so this period was great for me because I found my family and I was kind of the cool guy. So, but it was strange because before I was the bully in earlier, bullied. Yeah, I was bullied.
You're the bully, you're the bully.
I was bullied since like my 10 years to my 14. And then I got to art school and became a cool kid, like without knowing how, So, yeah.
Yeah.
Me, terrible days. I'm not gonna lie. Before 18, shadow. Yeah,
it's a blur.
And then bam, lights.
And then revenge. No,
I mean, this is a good revenge season right now. Yeah. Look at where I'm at now.
I've had a few. No, but it's just that I stayed in the same school from 10 to 18, and it was a very Catholic and it was a terrible time. I really had the sensation that the world was very small. Very, very small, just revolving around the streets of that school, and it was very freeing for me to exit high school and to go do university and meet new people and I think it's interesting because I think for me I it's a bit like Donald Trump with Venezuela. I had a lot of energy during that period of being frustrated, of not living, and of being very
isolated.
And when I turned 18 and I had the chance to finally exit that sort of horrible bubble, I had so much energy to spend. I think I'm reaching the end of that energy, but it did create a sensation of it nurtured something really strong afterwards, of like wanting to do stuff and making projects and, which I think the cool kids during high school that smoke weed and are really cool maybe have less. I don't want to be in the cliche, but at least the people from my high school.
Yeah, and also being bullied like early, like makes you find your own tools, your own weapons in life, and build how do you say that? A critical thinking, about life and how you find your own path and not the overall the main.
It's movement also. I think when you're cool, everything in high school, I mean, things moves around you, so you learn not to move. And when you're not cool, you're more eager to learn how to move, to create movements, I think.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Yeah.
Retrospectively,
yes.
I'm not sure I would have the same analysis when I was 14.
Sure.
I was just depressed.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like when you have a hard high school experience, it's like you have so much to look forward to after, because it's like that's not the best time of your life. For some people, it's like that was the best time of their life, and then they got the whole rest of their life. Okay. Number 5, what's something that you believe to be overrated?
Whoa. I don't know.
It's getting tougher and tougher.
Yeah, and then
the sandwich question was...
that was just the tip of the iceberg.
I don't know.
AI.
Yeah, AI. That's a good answer.
Yep.
AI is overrated.
Yeah, way overrated.
Yeah,
and it's my first competitor now. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 6. What do you think's underrated?
What?
Drawing.
No. Drawing. No. Getting the chance to be bored. I think the ability of getting bored is super important, because this is the time where ideas come. Also, where you process everything you want, you go through life. And now, because of apps, because of everything, because of screens, we don't have the chance to get bored anymore. And I think we're losing something, because getting bored is not just a bad time. It's also the time of getting things together in your brain, So it's the time of being conscious. And I really think we need that in our life. Yeah.
I would say tenderness is overrated.
Yeah, also.
Tenderness.
Could have been my answer too.
Yeah, really like...
and that's why we did Arco, in fact. Because we didn't
true
find...
tenderness. Like true free tenderness. I think people are... it's but it's also in a way we are more and more disconnected from ourselves, so it's harder to find this genuine tenderness. I don't want to be no, but it's true that when you have kids, you understand there's something of real pure tenderness in the eyes of the kids, or in the love that the kid has for his parents.
Nothing faked.
And yeah, it's we were talking yesterday with Ugo during lunch of free will, with the fact that the phones and it cuts ourselves from our free will, and from, because it's so much information that comes to you and that make and yeah, I think the tenderness is underrated. I would say that would be my answer.
And yeah, and like thinking about it with the film, my friend Barnaby Catterall, he was telling me that he felt like it was such an interesting thing with like the character dynamics, because there's like times when you think like, oh, this is the villain, or like this is going to be the villain, and ultimately everybody's like supporting each other and just like, and is like tender with each other and cares about each other. And it's this really kind of, because we're so used to, I think, like in movies, like,
like bad guys and
yeah. And so, yeah, it's like, there is so much tenderness in the characters in the film. So yeah,
that's nice.
You're showing that to the world.
We had
you're
a lot
sharing
of problems with the script about that, Like a
really?
lot of people were saying, there's no antagonist. And Hugo's answer to that was always, the world is the antagonist.
Yeah.
And I think it's really the time we go through, the world and Donald Trump, but there's a sense that we created our own antagonist, which is the world we live in, basically.
Yeah.
And also we didn't animation, like 89 or maybe 90% of animation content is violence, is people fighting, and I didn't want violence at all in the movie, like from humans to humans. The only violence that is been shown is with the robots, but it's not even like, there's maybe 2 hits in the movie, and also it's because I don't even know how to direct that. I don't know how to do mise en scène with this, so because I'm not interested in it, and the world is filled with violence right now, and I think I don't want to bring more violence in the world, and yeah, even formally, even as an image, I don't care.
Yeah. I think that's very, I mean, as I said it earlier, it's very refreshing, the film, and just its approach to the topic and to humanity, and yeah.
Yeah, and I wonder why animation, because animation is something that's made for young audiences, and I don't get why like violence is so omnipresent in this field of the work. And it's always weird to me, because every frame, every image we see impacts our system, and our imagination,
but,
and builds it. So
the violence is not even only actual violence. I saw among my parenting content on Instagram, I saw that there were the time per shots on animation content. I think it's films, but I don't know if it's films and TV or just films. It used to be the average of a shot in a film used to be around 10 seconds or 8 to 10 seconds, and it reduced, it shrinked to like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Or to a second and a half. So it means the shot changed every second and a half. Imagine for kids, for brains, for it's
super violent for the brain.
It's it's pure violence, even though there's no violence. It's just so hectic and it creates and you know it's and I also saw like a short TV extract about like they did a coverage on about people watching Netflix movies on like you know, fast forward like times 2 or times 1 and they did a scientific research on what it does to their brain and what it does to conversation with people. They are very bored very soon. They want to finish the sentences, and then they cannot watch a movie at a regular speed anymore. All of that is like a sort of violence that we normalize in a way. And we accept and we think it's normal, but it's I think it's also violent, like neurologically.
And it doesn't prepare us for human timings, you know, because our bodies are not made for that speed. And also, I think it's because we're putting ourselves in competition with machines, which makes us go faster and faster and productive. But I think
the machine doesn't have any problem with that.
Yeah. But in fact, my computer gets tired faster than myself in the days. You know, sometimes I have to open it. Like so I don't get why we're putting ourselves in such a position, because technology has always been there for us to grab time from reality and to allow us to have time to imagine our lives, to dream the world, and to get access to our own theatrical, you know, imagination and we developed ourselves like for 1,000 years to get more access to our inner selves, you know, and now technology is grabbing all this time, all this energy from us, and I think this is the real danger of today, and technology is normally made to give us time and freedom, not the opposite, which is what's happening right now to me. I'm beginning thinking, and then my phone rings. Oh, she's eating an hamburger. Cool. But I lost my ID, you know. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. It goes back to what you're believing that boredom is underrated, because it's like it's in those times when you're not preoccupied with something that, you know, good stuff comes from that, but we're being robbed of that.
With outside inputs. When do we get our inside inputs, you know? It's super important to have our own inside inputs.
Yeah.
But for me, it's really about the phones, because I experimented for a year and a half. I stopped having an iPhone and I had an iPad with the internet. And I had a regular phone for calls. It was to stay a bit sane during the production of the film. And like after 2-3 weeks, I started like having again my free will and being conscious of like, okay, now I'm gonna take my iPad and look at internet.
Yeah.
I don't know how old you are, but I remember when I was going to cyber cafes, you know, like in the 2000 to go check Facebook. And you had like 1 hour of like super dopamine of Facebook and messages, and then you would leave and internet would stay there, and you would go to your holiday or do whatever. And that's what I'm saying about free will. Is just, I remember going back to the idea of like, okay, I'm consciously going on the internet. With the phones, we're not consciously going on the internet. It's like we take our phone, we look at it, we don't even know why we look at it.
We look like really old guys. saying
very, very anti-system.
No, I'm totally with you guys. And I think a lot of people are feeling the same way. I mean, so many people are like, I'm getting a flip phone, like kind of what you just said, Felix, like, just like changing the relationship to the phone and like changing where you access the internet and how often you can access. And
because the internet is great. I'm really not against the internet. I think the internet is amazing, and also democratically what it helped. I mean, there's been a lot of revolution since 15 years, like social revolution and evolutions, thanks to the internet. Me Too wouldn't have happened without the internet. A lot of stuff wouldn't have happened with. So I think it's a great revolution. It's just what it how it impacts us as individuals on a daily basis.
Yeah, we got to take it back, because that's what the beauty of the internet was, like a place for people to just congregate like worldwide. But then it's been co-opted by like, you know, big businesses and have you.
As every time in humanity.
What are these orange things?
It's really, I have no idea. It's like this. It's in a hotel, but it's pretty fascinating, I have to admit.
I'm fascinated.
and it has a really nice noise.
I always have to rely on something so I can get concentrated. Usually it's drawing, but now like I won't be impolite. This allows me just to move, like.
But it's really not that we're not listening. It's
no.
Actually the opposite.
No, I know. Like sometimes, like doodling and like it helps you actually focus more.
Yeah, and Felix often said when we get into meetings together, even like professional meetings with big brands and stuff, Felix always says to the persons we're with, like, don't worry, Ego is listening. He's just drawing. He needs it, So I'm like this. And sometimes my head bugs, and I say, hey, we could do that. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. It's making me think of the people watching this episode. Like, how like sometimes on Instagram or TikTok, it's like people talking and then like Subway Surfer. So instead with you guys, the like secondary action is you guys just playing. It's good. It's like, it's going to cross the divide of like younger generations. And all right. So number 7. What's the first work of art of any kind that made a meaningful impact on you as a child?
What's the
first work of art?
To me, well, there are several, but
the first one,
the very first one, maybe
because you say every time you say for animation, you say Dragon Ball Z and Mononoke,
but
the first, it's a very interesting question.
The first one, I think it's Peter Pan.
As a child,
as a child, because my parents. I hadn't seen the movie, but my mother had a book from her youth, with the vinyl, with a CD in it, really old vinyl, and I was listening to to this Disney Peter Pan like story, told by a guy, a really French known Jean Rochefort. He had a great voice, and to me, Peter Pan is a lot about like this guy, and this has impacted me a lot.
Yeah.
And in fact, look at this.
Ah, perfect.
My hat.
Yes.
It's tricky because it's like me first. I have a sort of amnesia before 10, so I don't remember less. I think probably it would be music, the first memory of an emotion thanks to art. I wouldn't know exactly what song, but it would be music, maybe classical music. And then I have a very vivid memory of the first time I watched films. It was during a summer when I was like 11 or 12. And I watched Barry Lyndon, very young, and a movie called Bugsy Malone throughout the same weekend. And then I moved and I went with my grandmother, and I remember watching on a Sunday evening 400 Blows by François Truffaut with my grandmother, and I remember being the age of that kid and really connecting to, like, having a deep emotional connection to the character and to his melancholy, his melancholy and his extreme desire to live and to. Yeah, that was really very important for me. But it's late. I think there must have been. I remember seeing Titanic when I was 8. But no, there must have been other stuff. But this is a very vivid memory.
Yeah, it was meaningful. Okay, 8. What's a character from an animation that you relate to the most?
Well,
Peter Pan is a good
Wendy, maybe.
Yeah.
Wanting to imagine things and to tell stories, because that's what exactly Wendy is. You know, she's about the age of living childhood and maybe living imagination, because this is the time most of people like stop drawing, stop imagining things, and she wants to continue, but you know, and I think this figure is so pure, so vivid, and and also like wanting to live adventures, and I think now, especially in a world where everything is mapped, you know, modelized, known. I think the last adventure we have is in our brains. So I think Wendy is now is a good character for now too.
Yeah.
It's the question was relate to.
Yeah.
Me, I think I would say Shihiro. Because because the trauma of leaving childhood behind, for me the film is something about that, about the frontier of the time where it's so scary because you go in the real world and you start losing your imagination. But it tells the exact opposite, because she enters in a world of an imagination. But there's this thing, for me, the film talks a little bit about that with even the parents as pigs and stuff. It's just the horrible reality of life and of death and of and yeah, I think it's incredibly powerful character.
And I don't know who said that, but he was asked like, what are you most sad of in your life, you know? And he answered like losing my childhood. And I think I think it's Nine. I think it's Bienvenu. But I agree with him, but in fact that's what I try to keep in myself, like my, you know, the
Je vois parce que t'as vu cette vidéo Instagram, t'es deep sur Instagram.
Yeah, also, sorry, French. But yeah, it's like, I think writers is all about getting, you know, how do you say that? Getting to be a writer is, I think, trying to stay a kid in a way. And even drawing, when you draw, the first move is to get better and technically cool and getting adult in your field, you know. But then when you're able to draw everything you want, you always try to go back to this fragile stuff, to this simplicity of and the freedom and doing things for free and not on a purpose, you know. And this is the hardest part, is to go back to this state of childhood, and in fact this state of jazz, you know, being this jazzy free jazz stuff.
Yeah.
The blue note. We're trying to go back to the blue note.
Yes. Totally, yeah. Okay. 9. What's your favorite feature animation?
There's so much. All Miyazaki's.
But it's not an answer. It's
see, because it's just one.
All Miyazaki as all film created before 2020.
No. I mean, yeah, Miyazaki. It's like, to me, it's I couldn't say one of it, because it forms. To me, every movie he did like forms a huge piece, and grabbing one of them would be minimizing his work.
It feels like a body of work.
Yeah. What would it be?
He said Miyazaki, so I would say Le Roi et l'Oiseau.
Good one.
I don't know what the name is in English.
The King and the Bird.
Do you know? Paul Grimaud. You know.
I think it's The King and the Bird, something like this.
Le Roi et l'Oiseau.
It's a French like masterpiece from the 70s. Like, it's really beautiful. And
I'm checking the name in English.
And in France, it's kind of
The King and the Mockingbird.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with.
Everybody
check
should
it out.
see this movie.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, you're gonna have a good time.
I'll watch it.
It's very sad though.
Okay.
But
I'll
very
be
contemporary
prepared.
in a way.
Very contemporary.
Very contemporary.
Yeah, about dictatorship and
freedom
and love and poetry
and sharing.
And the music is
devastating.
Haunting. Yeah, the theme of the music is. I would love to play it like this, but I'm not gonna do that. You're gonna discover it.
I'll check it out very soon. And then not animation, but I just did want to mention it because Ugo, I saw that you did the Letterboxd top 4 or whatever, and that you mentioned Bridget Jones as being one of your top, and I was like, yes! So funny, really, so good.
Yeah, Harry Meets Sally too.
Yes,
I'm really into,
amazing.
Like love comedies, you know, and yeah. I like the movies that feel simple, but that work with a lot of underlayers with a simple structure, and not the movies that look complex but at the end feel really easy, you know. But I would say Harry Meets Sally maybe.
Best movie ever, Harry Meets Sally.
I think so. Because it makes me laugh, it makes me cry, it makes me, you know,
it does it all.
That's what I ask for movies, like to make me laugh or cry. And if they do both, I think they are. But I could say, I will stay with that.
It's tough, very tough.
But yeah, also the movies like James L. Brooks. What's Pour le pire et pour le meilleur.
Je sais pas.
Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna find it. Thanks to internet.
Yes.
Wow, it's very tough. Me, I would maybe go to more serious films. There's a film for me that's really haunting is L'Aurore by Murnau. Sunrise by Murnau. It's an old silent film. This film is and there's another film recently that I could quote a lot of films, but a film that I've seen recently that moves me a lot, and since he talked about Rob Reiner who passed away, I would say Elephant Man by David Lynch. That's very haunting for me. Very... The idea of the monster... Yeah, the idea of a monster that... the good inside the monster, or the fact that the monsters are what we project on them. I think the idea of monsters is very common in films these days, but I don't think it's been treated the way it was treated, with such humanity and purity as it was in... Now it's more like...
La Nuit du Chasseur also. La Nuit du Chasseur, La Nuit du Chasseur, I don't know how to say that.
That could be our collective answer. La Nuit du Chasseur.
Sorry, we're gonna find the
in English, The Night of the Hunter, you know? The films with kids, it's beautiful.
And also this movie we were talking
with
about,
Robert Mitchum.
The Stand By Me also. We love this movie together.
Stand By Me,
That's
I think you have
Running on Empty.
In fact, there's so much movies, and it's hard to say this is better than the other, you know.
Totally. But you gave us a good smattering. 10, what's your favorite short animation? Could be TV as well. Shorter TV.
To me, I think I'm gonna say. Sorry, I'm gonna say one we produced because
the Stephen.
Yeah, the Testament.
A Kind of Testament.
A Kind of Testament. We love this movie. We from the moment we saw what he wanted to do, we thought it was really important now. So I would say this one. Yeah. Sorry, it's one we produced, but it's
I would have the same answer, I think. from recent years. I remember seeing the animatic. It was really a shock.
I mean, it's beautiful to have a favorite of something that like you helped, come alive.
It's also I haven't seen that much short. I mean, it's not like I've seen.
Shorts are hard because you only can see them in festivals, which is I think too bad. And also I don't know if people know a lot of animation here, but there's a Russian guy called Igor Kovalyov, and I think people should go and watch his movies because he's been really important to me in the short field, you know.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about getting more people to watch short animation because
what's your favorite shorts?
My first thought is always Portman. Egg Maha, it's like Time's Up, I think is the English translation, and it's just this really like
I'm gonna watch
silly
because
film.
I think Portman. I let me which one is it?
Time's Up.
Yeah, Time's Up. If you look up Time's Up, it should come up.
Yeah, I think I saw it, but long time ago. Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah, he's a legend though. He's like really a legend in animation.
Did you see his film that just came out this year?
No. In fact, as we were doing like finishing my movie and also doing his movie, he's finishing his future like how we say a live action movie. We had so little time to go and watch things.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if it's like he worked on it with his wife or if it's some other family member, but it's 3D animation and he's like in his 80s or something, and it's just it was very exciting for everybody to be like he's like experimenting with the medium still. You know,
when I was in CalArts, people talked a lot about him. And,
yeah, love his work. Okay, 11. When did you feel most discouraged about pursuing your creative path?
Whoa. Honestly, on Arco, it was 1 over 2 days. Like one day I was doing no, sometimes
one every 6 months.
No, honestly, at one point, as it was so heavy and it was our first feature film, and the budget for France was a big budget, and the pressure was kind of so. And sometimes,
and we took a lot of risk.
Yeah, we took a lot of risks. Like we put it everything we had, like in the movie, and money, our money. So it was sometimes I was like, the heaviness of it was strong, and I also had like. My first kid during the production, and then my second kid, and I was like, why am I doing this? Well, I could be like with my kids, and and because it was so much working then, but it was important, and that's why it's so important. It was bigger than us, so that's why I think we went through. But me it was, and I couldn't say one specific moment because it was kind of, but at the end of the day, I'm so glad because the efforts are always the things that bring you more joy, and when you...
That depends who you are. That's his...
to me,
to you.
To me, the hardest thing I've done has always been the things that brought me the more joy, and but I won't say it
this is somewhere where we disagree.
Maybe, yeah.
Me, I think you can have joy without having suffering.
I'm working for that, but I still didn't I still didn't reach that point of,
because it's, for me, it's if you connect the idea of pleasure with the idea of pain, it's a vicious circle. So, but that's a more psychoanalytic.
Yeah.
It works. Your 12 questions.
Yeah, the first sandwich question was really a good one.
It's like we're gonna end up on the sofa and be like,
and cry.
Father,
Mama.
It's all about my father.
That's my goal. That's my goal.
But it's when Ugo says that, I think it's true that on that film actually there was a big connection between pain and reward. I mean, there was a thing where we're like putting, and the more we had obstacles, the more we were putting back, because there were several. It's actually, honestly, the film didn't have that much obstacle, but Ugo feels differently. But it's like there's not a lot of people who said no. because we haven't put that much the movie out. We kept it very secret for a long time, and it's just that it was so much work before it's what was very unconscious is that normally the way people make films and finance films, or you write a script, then you put it out and people read it and say yes or no, and then they're like steps, you know. Us, we believe so much in the film that we took a lot of steps on our own before showing it to some people. And so when you like make that many kilometers on your own with your own backpack, and then you arrive to the end, you're like, what do you think? And he says, it's shit. That's super hard. And so when you work like for 5 months on a script and someone reads it and say it's shit, it's different. So it was a bit, I think that was the
and we did that because every time we were talking about the story, nobody would like, honestly, like people were saying the budget is too high for France. There's a roof, a ceiling roof, and so you should think economically to do it less, you know. And I didn't want to. I mean, doing a movie, I won't do a lot of movies in my life. So I don't want to bring one more shitty movie in the world, you know. There's tons of it. So I and the point was to say, look, this is the scope of the movie, and we want to protect that scope.
And we wanted to do everything in France, in Paris also.
And that was really tricky because in Europe, like there are, you know, you can go to Belgium and find 1 million, but you have to have a lot of people there and spend 1,500,000
basically
there.
because animation is something you can really split production, because you can have like a storyboard, then you can have animation, then you can have clean, then you can have compositing, different steps. Most of animation films in Europe, at least, production is spread throughout countries or throughout regions.
That's why also I think I don't like these kind of movies, because there's often you can feel that it's not made by a team, you know, in the same place. You feel that there's a hole between things, you know,
and that a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of energy goes into this structure, the infrastructure of and which is heavy, because it's sometimes 150
and not going in the frame, the actual frame. And also
so
I didn't.
We had the bet. We bet very early on, and we said the two things we bet very early on, and that was not very conventional to the way films are done in France, at least. That one, we wanted to do everything in Paris in our studio, and two, we wanted to have like lead positions, very young people. Most of some of them just coming out of school, or most of them that started doing internship in our company like 8 years ago, and so they were like 26. But when we talk to people and say this guy is going to be the lead animator, or this guy is,
they were not trusting. They were like, they don't have experience. They don't have, and putting out and saying it will be like this was hard. And
so the only way to make it be like this, it was like
taking risks
ourselves and going so far in the process that it was unquestionable, you know. And so far in the process of the animatic, of having demos of the music, of having, so that we would like twist, you know, the wheel a bit.
But honestly, at one point we work a lot with luxury brands. And we put all the money of the company in this animatic. We had, after that we had no money. So it was really, really like we could have lost the company and everything. So yeah, it was sometimes felt heavy.
Yeah, I get that. But I mean, really admirable to just be really dedicated to the way that you wanted to do it, and you know, and also just like uplifting, you know, these, you know, younger people to give them opportunity.
And also sometimes, you know, you when you write, when you do something, when you want to tell a story, you first of all, you create your toys, you create your characters, and people come and say they love your toys, and they say, oh, they are great, you should play like this. But our role, the role of the director, is to play his own way with his characters, and to try to protect this kind of fragile way, this kind of you know, and yeah,
the uniqueness of that way. Yeah. And it's true that, and especially with this film where it's like a concept, the rainbow, it's very appealing as concept. It's like, why did we never think of doing a character of a rainbow, for instance? It's like very concept proof. so that a lot of people want to, and there's like the time travel aspect. There's so many, it could have gone so many ways that a lot of people also, or the idea of having antagonists, or the idea of the three brothers not being bad guys, or there were so many.
Like people were telling us like, you should do time lapses, you should do like, and I was like, this is not what I'm not keen on that, and I don't relate to that technological things, and also with Felix writing the story, we at the very beginning, I think we were thinking we were writing a science fiction movie, but at one point, and it was boring because we had to explain the travel in time, and at one point it appeared to us that we were writing also a fantasy movie, and this helped also, and then I think writing it became funnier because we could mix like fantasy with science fiction with rom-com in a way.
I remember we at one point there was a screening of like 45 minutes of the animatic, and someone said, when they fall, why don't they die? And we said, because it's not the genre of it's not even the genre, it's not even fantasy, it's just like for me, I would more relate it to sort of comment on dit conte?
A tale.
It's more like something of a tale a bit, but not a moralistic tale with like a moral at the end. And so in a tale, like all the different obstacles that the character go through, that it's not really about death or life. It's more about evolution in a way.
So Felix, was that also your like most discouraging time, was during Arco, or was it something else?
I think it was during Arco, but for my film.
Because Felix
was the same for my film.
Yeah, Felix was writing and preparing his movie while we were doing Arco too. So and I mean, being an author is always defending your vision and trying to find it also. And it's hard because sometimes you have to defend something you didn't find at that time. So and in fact you have to defend the possibility of it appearing in the world, in a way. So it's really a complex task, and
I think more maybe the exact question was, how did you phrase it?
When did you feel? Yeah, like in your creative path, what was like most discouraging?
Me, I think it was very early on when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I was really not encouraged. There was really a sort of. The person who encouraged me the most was my grandmother, the mother of my mother, who used to be a secretary of a great French writer, and who was very into arts, and it's the one I watched the film with.
Figured.
And she played a decisive role in my life of trusting me, but there were other parts where it felt like not only it was impossible, but it was silly. The idea of creativity, or even more than creativity, poetry and stuff, that like fragile stuff, poetry, the all of that was silly. It didn't have value. So that was the toughest thing, because it's where you form your brain and you form your beliefs, and it's still something that hurts me, because it's hard for me to. It's really good, your interview, and we go deep in it.
And also, I think also what Felix like went in a way is like, you have to find the persons that allow you things also in your life, and that's why it's important to find the good persons. Like you have to have a strong like system in a way, when me, Felix, my wife, people, my publisher, like people that trust you and say, you can be wrong. It's possible to be wrong. There's no problem, because being
even
wrong
in the mistakes, there's it's a creative act. The idea of being mistaken, it's very important, and this is something also that I liked. For instance, the idea of do something and make a mistake, and inside the mistake there's
also Arco is a lot about this old sentence, ex falso verum sequitur, from wrong comes the right, it's because he does something wrong that irises can create a new world, you know. And so we have to, and the movie is all about this. The movie is all about like trust our imagination, trust our fragileness, trust our sensations and feelings
and ideas, and fragile also ideas. What I love about the film, and which is something that I liked, for instance, is that it all starts with a sketch, and the film itself started with a sketch. It's Ugo who sent me a sketch, and it's all about our belief in that sketch and
to bring it to the
everything that is hidden behind that sketch, all the possibilities of that sketch. And it's so beautiful to like trust, and even with all the difficulties we've been talking about, to trust, to follow the line behind that sketch, and trust whatever is the possibilities. And if you don't give these tools to people, it's impossible for them to take the steps to see in the invisible what is possible.
And also, making Arco was a lot about saying to the world, let's imagine again. Even everybody has imagination, and we have to rely on that again, and to be confident on our imagination. Because if we want to live in a better world, we have to imagine all it first, you know. And this is, the movie is all about this.
Yeah. Yes. Beautiful. Okay, last question. What's your most life-defining decision?
Oh, wow.
Life-defining? I think it's not getting angry too early. You know, when facts come to you, take your time and always take your time, not react straight away. Just
that's one decision.
It's one decision, one really early decision in my life since I'm like I think 8, and I said that to myself, like, okay, let's stay calm through situations, and digest them and not rush to react, because I think most of the time when you rush reacting, like, you take bad decisions.
Yeah. So it's like a kind of lifelong pattern that you established. Yeah.
Life-defining decision. I think having a kid is, because I didn't decide to live, but I decided that this kid will live.
Yeah.
And it's very different.
Yeah.
You will.
No, but I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
It's not the same. I arrived on Earth because other people decided, but he arrived because I'm part of the decision. And so it's when you say life defining, it's I also decided to change my life and my position. And because for me, having a kid, it changes a lot my relation with time and with my own mortality, and with it's very, very impressive what it does. And so I think it changed completely the perception of my own life.
Yeah, totally. All right. Well, that's all my questions for you guys.
Thank you. How many did we do?
12. We did 12. Wow. We did it on twos. But yeah, thank you guys so much for chatting with me. It was really great to get to know you.
Thank you.
Good luck this Sunday. I'm going to be watching and rooting for you guys. And
hopefully. Yeah. Are you voting? No, you don't vote.
No, I don't vote. One day, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We cross the fingers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks so much, India.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Hope to see you. Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is recorded, edited, and produced by me, India Lombardi-Bello. Booking assistance by Corey Futrovsky and Kayla Heyer. Digital marketing assistance by Arnesh Kundu. Music by Cloutmeyer. Design by Sawyer Rappan. Special thanks to my mom and dad, Nicholas Fortune Hagen, Michael Dundaro, and Ash Suh.